Hey, good afternoon, everybody. First, start off by saying that I appreciate the time taken to catch up with you guys and doing it by video, just practicing a bit for some future endeavors. I like to talk today about just what was going on or what has been going on, at least in my world, and what's been happening around me. Not to sound selfish, but it's kind of like lessons I've been learning along the way. And that's the way that I put it. And I like to be able to share the lessons that I'm going through as a shop owner, as a person, as someone, 63 years old, and looking at what's going on around me, who's being affected and touched and everything like that. So, over the past couple of months, things have been great. I've had great times and been able to do a lot of things. Of course, always say that you always fall back to the means, and you do. There's always a lot of good, and then there's a lot of bad, and before you know it, life gets back in the middle. That's pretty much everything, and there's your means. After all of the excitement and good times, now comes news of, and the weeks where months we've been dealing with my parents. And if you aren't aware, my parents are not doing well. They're in and out, flip flopping between hospitals, and one is in, one is out, one is out, one is in. Nurses, doctors, appointments, medicines, home care, the Medicaid, you name it. So, although I'm positive that this isn't a new experience for you or some of you, this is new to me. So, I will just, tell you things that you may already know. But so, pardon the interruption, as they like to say. But, some of the things that are going on besides all of that, dealing with two shops, two locations, 85 miles apart, driving this, driving that. It can get kind of tedious. Plus, you're keeping up with everything else. Um, but days like today kind of like really hit you a little differently. They just tweak up the intensity just a notch. So kind of like happened, I suppose, even last week. And we're talking about people who um, have had bad news and they've had really bad news. And you look at it like, wow, you're in the middle and you're hearing all of this news from others around you. And sometimes you think, well, when is it my turn? You know, um, makes you think. Just makes you think a little bit. Has you say, you take it all in, you take it back. But it started off, I said a couple months ago with my parents, um, declining health. Uh, we all know the future. We're working with Hospice, and Hospice is an organization that does multi levels of care. So they're not at the end of life situation, but we can see the future, um, and it's probably not going to be good, or it might be a short future. We don't know, but in the meantime, we're looking for support mechanisms so that we know how to take care of our parents like you would, like anybody who has been through it, as they move, as they transition, you know, to wherever and whenever. So we're dealing with those and getting them situated, and the day to day life. But then just the other week, a week ago, the gentleman that I purchased my second location from, um, he passed away, 65 years old, brain tumor. I found out Sunday last week, and I was texting him Saturday morning in regards to him telling me that his son was going to be removing the final elements in the shop that were his, which is one large condominium size snap on box, which I had graciously let him just storage there till he found a home for it and was comfortable, and then he would come over and tinker, and we had a good relationship. We had one where I was not being restrictive of him coming in and working on his own car or his son's car. It was kind of open in that manner. Some say that's not good, but whatever the case might be. We, over the course of the period, we became friends in a way. We had great talks about old school um, ways to work on cars, and he was a master mechanic. He was a trainer for Firestone. Big guy, loud, and he was a presence. But you could tell that something wasn't right the last time I seen him, which had been maybe about a month ago. Um, he looked a lot thinner, could not explain his weight loss, could not really hold himself up well. And between my daily life and his daily life and what was going on, we just didn't connect had like we used to. So when I did find out that he wasn't doing well and not knowing what it was, there was a concern. And so Saturday when he texted me, I said, Tom, I said, I don't care about the box. I said, how are you, man? And I didn't get a response. So I called him and I left a voice message with him and saying, listen, call you as a friend. What's going on? Well, that night, evidently, he was flown to the hospital here in Newcastle, and he passed away of the brain tumor. Shocking. 65 years old, 1 year into retirement, 1 year, and here he is, not able to enjoy it. Um, he never was really one to manage finances and take care of, the what ifs with insurances and such. So there's a little bit of disarray in the family situation going on right now. But that's one incident, and this Saturday, the parents go back into the hospital, rushed in, got that taken care of. And then, we hear things today and this week, more news from other family, and a good shop owner shares his news about what his prognosis is with what they told him, and his life changes and what outcomes can be. So we actually shared a nice conversation in regards to life, um, what's important, what's not important, and again, what this does is, at least for me, and I would think for most of you, that it causes reflection, and that's a good thing. We think that our shop is everything, and we really try, but that work life balance is so important, especially as we get older. Um, and our conversation today between myself and a fellow colleague, um, he said that, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to devote my life to giving back. It's a complete changeover, and you can imagine having that thought, right? God, get me out of this, and I promise you that, right? And everybody would do the same thing. But instead of waiting for that moment, I think what the work-life balance is to do it now. Is to say to yourself, I'm not going to wait till I'm 65. In a sense, I'm not going to wait till I can't do anything. I want to do it now, and that's been a big driver for myself. Watching my parents do what they did, and kind of they enjoyed life, or they do enjoy life. They did enjoy their times together, being young and adventurous and all that. They had a great time. But as they got older, some of their habits weren't conducive to what they're experiencing and going through now. So, as I say, parents can teach you a lot of what to do right, but they can show you what they did wrong. And this only might be hindsight, but when you see these things, when you look at people who were vibrant, especially, and I share this, and I've probably talked to others about it, but you know what they did middle age, and as they were progressing from 50 to 60, um, they just didn't do the things they should have done. And that's, either remain active, um, go places, do things, travel, have fun. They didn't think like that, and they didn't take care of their health the way they should have. So, it's a big lessons, because now you start to see, and being 63, and I think most of you are, may not be 63, you might be 70, you might be 50. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really. I think as shop owners, as business owners, we take in a lot of stress and we don't really relieve ourselves. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to do it, or who to talk to, where to go. And those of us that are at the age where we're thinking about retirement, the final question comes is, well, who are we? You know, the shop was my legacy. That's who I was. But now I'm not at the shop. So who am I? And what do I stand for? What do people know me as? Will they forget me? And none of that. I mean, we might think it, but I don't think anything's true. People will remember you. But I think what's important is, as we before we get to the exit sign, how about if we establish something else that we look forward to? I don't care what it is. Beyond the shop is something to examine now. Why you can go beyond the shop. You don't want to be out the door and into a retirement home. That's not what life is all about. Today was just one of those days where it really got you thinking. Hey, I know I got my responsibilities today. I know I have to get through the day, and I have the challenges to get through. That's every day for us small business people. But more importantly is, well, what are we thinking about that can help me not be in that situation? So it's just again, I'm sharing a day with you. I'm sharing an experience with you because that's what I want to do, and I know that you have yours to share as well. So maybe one day we can get together and talk about these things. I just think it's important that um, we start looking at the other side now, why we have the ability to plan for the other side, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Um, and as the conversation went with my colleague and friend, um, you know, he's ready for the challenge, ready for the fight, and he's ready to see the other side while on this earth, not in it or under it. So anyway, I just want to, like I said, share some things going on today. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you have really busy at the shop. Holiday season coming up, family, friends. We get to meet, greet, smile, all that good stuff. Okay. All right, Greg Buckley. I will talk with you soon. Thanks again. See you.